Sean, had Vince Beagle getting some work on the edge. What do you like about him in there?
Well, look, his natural position is linebacker. There's certain defensive looks where we'll stem one of those linebackers to an open side or closed side. Part of it's more of the defensive call. So I would say that part of it's what we're doing from a scheme standpoint, and it's not specific to him. His exposure to us last year playing and having snaps in the kicking game and a guy that knows what to do with the three positions is important. So a lot of it had to do with really the install.
Sean, when you guys drafted David Onyemata, he was still relatively new to football. How's he grown over the course of his career?
Quite a bit, and we felt that he would. The exposure really, the East-West game was really something that helped us. He had a good week there. I think he was player of the game. He's a hard worker, and he's got, I would say, really good natural strength. And so the amount of snaps he's getting now, and I'd say the transition with each mistake early in his career, very quickly he's corrected and he's playing extremely well.
Sean, first impression with Sean Matthews, bringing him on board, giving him an opportunity, a veteran that he
Yeah, look, he's had today, he did some good things. He's smart, so he's got some experience. It's a chance for us to see him and see how he handles what we're doing from an install standpoint. I think he catches it well. So I would say it's in really a two-practice evaluation. It's been pretty good.
Knowing Drew, how we all know him, I'm sure it was tough for him to miss yesterday. Good to have him back out here.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I think he got in last night, shot me a text. He had a good practice. So he's someone that's obviously going to work extremely hard on what we're doing. They'll have times during this summer where these guys will get together and throw. But it was good to have him back out there today.
Sean, when you guys signed Jared Cook, you said you like lining him up opposite Michael. As a play caller, can you just explain a little more what he does on that opposite side?
Well, typically the X receiver where Mike plays, not always, but typically it's opposite the tight end. So it just, if the coverage rolls to Mike, then it's advantageous, or there's some good looks over there to the tight end side. So, we'll put him in some different spots. He's someone that has a unique skill set, and so you can flex him out at receiver, play him closer to the ball. It really depends on what we're trying to do.
Sean, looking at the quarterback center exchange, I know it's unacceptable, like 2 out of 3 plays between Brees and McCall.
We'll get that squared away. Yeah, we'll get that squared away. Both those two will figure it out.
When you talk to Marcus Davenport, it seems like he's never content, even after a big game. You like that quality in him? He's always trying to improve and get better.
Yeah, I think this will give us a good chance. There were a handful of games last year that he played extremely well. He battled an injury and now he's healthy. So I think he's eager to continue to make those steps that you would typically make, between year 1, year 2, and year 3. So we're excited to have him back out there full strength.
Sean, did Carl Graderson do anything in particularly early to pop?
Yeah, look, it's hard. He's getting reps. We think he's a pretty good rusher. We think he's got a chance to be a pressure player, and I think he'll be one of those players that we'll get a much better feel for when we're in pads.
So when you're going through these installs and everything, do you have like a tried and true thing that you stick to, or do you kind of evaluate this every year and see if maybe there's a different
there's some change each year, and yet there's some situationally, the third down comes typically on that third day, then the 2-minute, then the red, there's certain. Now within the framework of what we're doing, we tinker some with, it's not the same as it was in 07 or 11, and yet there probably are some core principles that remain the same. But there's an install pattern relative to the situation in the games.
Getting a healthy Patrick Robinson back this season, how much does that feel like maybe a big free agent kid kind of?
Yeah, listen, He's someone that is smart. He's played really well in the slot. He had a play today that was impressive. So, yeah, it's another addition really to our roster based on the injury.
Your conversations with him, just how tough that was with such a great season in Philly and then coming here and just
Yeah, I mean that's always the difficult conversation when a player, you know, has an injury that's going to put him down for a season. It's one of the hard things about our game.
On the flip side, though, Sean, is PJ going to be pretty hard to unseat in that role after he really seemed to kind of?
He played well. You know, Chauncey's someone that's going to get work there. Patrick, I think, you know, we've got some depth there, which is good, and guys that can play not only inside but outside.
Sean, you didn't draft a wide receiver. You feel pretty comfortable about the guys you have?
Yeah, I think there's some young guys too that are new. That we're positive with and excited to work with. So, you know, we'll continue to evaluate that position. But I like the group right now and the guys that are here working.
Sean, one last point on Jared. He's been in the league for 10 years. What does he bring to the locker room in terms of energy and presence?
You know, I think he's number one. You know, he's got a personality, a calming personality. He's smart. He's competitive. I think he's a good teammate, and you know, I think, look, that experience and being in a handful of different offenses, but you see him catch the ball naturally, get open in the zones. So he's got some savvy on the field relative to what we're doing, and you know, I think a guy that the players quickly warm up to.
What do you guys like about Kayvon Webster to bring him in?
Well, again, as we go through this process, we're looking at certain traits, and so I think we're probably 7 over our 90 number, but enough to where we wanted to see in 3 days, you know, again, is there anything we're missing? And so typically, you know, when we finish up here, we'll talk about every one of those guys, including him.
Coach, the center position was a question coming into the offseason. How has McCoy stepped up and into that role?
He's doing well. He's part of, you know, there's 3 guys working there. We'll continue to do that in training camp. It's hard to evaluate some of these positions without the pads on, but yeah, so he was taking a lot of the reps with the ones today. He's doing good. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Your starting linebackers have all arrived in the last 2 years. Having a little more stability this year, does that help with not having?
I think so. Look, I think so, and I think, and we feel like we've got pretty good depth there. Guys like Craig, who's played a lot of snaps for us. You know, one of them came via free agency. The other one came via the draft. You know, it's been a position I thought we played better at a year ago.